and welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get Andrew to like musicals. And today we're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, we're actually talking about a film this time. We were actually invited to see a pre-screening, which is surprising. Didn't think we were big enough for that, but...
Yeah, I don't know why they'd invite a musical podcast to go and see the Avengers Endgame.
Well, I mean, it makes sense now that we've seen it, I feel like.
And by we've seen it, we've seen the Avengers Endgame, starring Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Tom Hiddleston, who turns out is still alive somehow. Not Loki,
just Tom
Hiddleston.
Whoa.
Tom Hiddleston himself, the actor, is alive in this world. He survived. He survived the snap.
I feel like that's still like you're getting the spoiler territory. Why don't we go through the basics first?
Okay, so if you remember correctly, Thanos screwed everyone over last one.
Well, yeah, I mean everyone's seen the Marvel movies, I'm sure. So the Infinity War, Thanos snaps half the people out of existence. We're basically down to the original Avengers again. And they're, of course, fighting Thanos. Most notably, of the original Avengers who actually makes an appearance, Hawkeye is back in this one.
Yeah, Hawkeye is here.
So, what I want to say, like, just immediately, who is it? I don't know who it is that plays Hawkeye, but he just did an amazing job with the performance in this one. And
Jeremy Renner is incredible.
Jeremy Renner, yeah. Oh, what did you think of Hawkeye in this one?
This is the Hawkeye movie, basically. This is really his film.
Yeah, like steals. Go ahead.
I thought that he stole everything, and I was really surprised at his singing skills.
Yes, so... Like, I guess we should just get right into it. The opening number, of course, is all the Avengers coming in and sort of... Is it weird that it's kind of like the whole film is like an Act 2? You know, like it's like, okay, Infinity War was Act 1, this is kind of... The whole thing is Act 2, almost?
Yeah, it's Act 2. The curtain opens, which is really weird. It's like a Baz Luhrmann movie.
Well, I thought it fit because of what the style they were going for with it. It's almost like an old-timey, like a callback sort of to like 50s kind of like
Bubsy Berkeley like style film singing in the rain.
Yeah, exactly. Singing in the rain, that sort of style.
This is what La La Land wanted to be.
It's pretty much exactly what La La Land wanted to be, and I think it really hits all the points that movie somewhat failed to do.
But Hawkeye then, after the opening number and everyone has their song and dance, sings about how he longs for a world far away, something vague and interesting. He wants more out of his life than bow and arrows.
It's such a beautiful song.
He has a
one
song
line,
in his heart.
A world far away, like that. It's like, how did they even come up with that? And how did they think that was perfect for this? Because it is.
Mm-hmm. Then Tony Stark comes in and is like, we don't have the Avengers without our number one guy.
Wasn't Tony stuck on another planet in the last one, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, he
Did they ever
tapped
explain
dance
how
home.
he got
Did you
back?
not see that?
That's what that... I thought that was a dream sequence, I'll be honest.
No, him and Nebula tap dance all the way home, back to Earth.
Well, the thing with that scene is that the use of the props, because, like... Well, I thought it was a dream sequence, because they were kind of in, like, the darkness of space, and then they had the tap dance number, and there was an ensemble as well, which is the odd part. Was that... I mean... Did that not confuse you at all? Like, I thought that was honestly the weirdest part of the movie for me.
The ensemble really brought the story together, in all honesty. They brought us into the hearts and minds of the audience, ourselves, reflected on screen.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what everyone wants to know.
How did they
Does
show
Thanos-
off Thanos?
Does Thanos have his own song? And the thing is, Thanos doesn't get a song in this, which is the strange.
He gets
it's strange
the ballet.
to me. Yeah, he's a very talented dancer, and they do all the fights in dance, which makes sense, obviously, if you're going to have the Avengers superhero show. Fight scenes have to be basically dance numbers. I just found it odd. Like, Thanos was, like, basically the main... Like, I would say he was arguably the main character in the first act. So it's strange that in the second act, they kind of tone him down to the point where he doesn't even get his own song.
I mean, he had, like, the catchiest songs in the first act, but in the second act, it's just, like... He's papier-mâché in the second act. Like, Josh Brolin just kind of gave up, and they just put a papier-mâché man on a stick, and I think it was just, like, budget constraints.
I think what it is with Josh Brolin focusing on his role as Cable in Deadpool, they just couldn't get him back for the recordings. You know, they got him on set for a little while, but they couldn't get him into the sound booth.
Right. So what did you think of Hawkeye squaring off against Thanos in the final scene?
All right, we're getting into spoiler territory, and we're going to talk about what everyone wants to know. Does Hawkeye shoot Ant-Man up Thanos' ass? The answer, I'm going to have to say it.
Definitely.
Definitely. He does.
Yeah, it's a little bit predictable, but we need a little bit of comic book popcorn afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, and in all reality, that is how he was defeated
Another
in the
song
comic
once
books.
asked the all-important question, whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, shoving an Ant-Man up a purple guy's ass.
It is how they beat him in the comic book series, actually. So it just feels like that makes sense. And people ask, like, well, he could have just used the Infinity Stones to prevent the arrow from going up there with Ant-Man on it. But the truth is,
But
that
they
there's a
tend to
very good
forget that
reason
he.
couldn't.
Yeah, he lost the Infinity Stones when Thor took them.
Yeah, like Thor takes the Infinity Stones and does something with them, and that's how this is able to happen.
It's a big romance number between him and Captain Marvel about I got the stones for the job, and Captain Marvel sings it.
They show part of that in the trailers, actually. Like
Yes.
right before it starts, they show the part where the hammer comes in.
That basically leads into a tap number where she's like, "You ain't got the stones," and he's like, "I got the stones."
It was good. I don't say that was one of the weaker songs though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in a show full of like hitters, like even the best songs are gonna seem like the lower ones.
Yeah. Well, here's the real question: is this gonna come to Broadway? Do you think?
Yes, Hugh Jackman is 100% gonna be playing Thanos.
You think so? I feel like Josh Brolin would just keep the role. I feel like he could do it, especially with the lack of singing.
I feel like he wants to see the role live on.
Although I guess when they move it to Broadway, they'd probably add more songs for Thanos. So
I think Thanos is going to be up there with the great villains like Ursula, everyone.
That lady from Annie,
Miss Hannigan. The Ku Klux Klan from Parade.
the Ku Klux Klan from Birth of a Nation,
The Ku Klux Klan from Django Unchained.
the Ku Klux Klan from The Real World.
I don't know, they're just made up.
Oh, I mean, it is kind of a ridiculous name. I mean, what's a klux?
Yeah. Either way, back to the Avengers. What would you give this out of 10 and your cheese rating?
Oh, we don't do cheese ratings anymore. I thought we just switched to a normal rating system a few weeks ago.
That's fine. How many Infinity Gauntlets would you give this?
If I had to give this an Infinity Gauntlet score, I would give it if I had to score this one, I would definitely give it. What would you give it, Jess?
I would give it 4 out of 5 hands. Because it could be better, because it doesn't fit the tone of the first one nearly as well as they would like it to believe.
Well, I think the change, like adding music and going for that 50s style, was a risk. And
I mean, it's a risk, but does it pay off?
I feel like for a mainstream audience, it probably will. But for like a hardcore Marvel fan, they're going to be like, just doesn't really work as the same sort of tone. So I think like most people are going to get it and they're going to like it. But like there's going to be a small minority of man babies that will complain about it.
Yeah. Man babies that just don't like the fact that there are women in their Star Wars movies.
Jesus Christ. That just don't like the fact that there's musical numbers in their Marvel movies.
Exactly. Well, that was a great episode of Musicals with Cheese. Super. Thank you very much to Marvel Studios, Disney, Fox, Lucasfilm for inviting us to see Avengers Endgame War Part 2. It was a great film, and you all should be very proud of the 50 other Marvel films you got in the pipeline.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see the remakes of Aladdin, Dumbo, Bambi, Cinderella, Black
They already
Cauldron.
did Cinderella.
What other movies exist? Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. Oh, they did that one already. Song of the South. The MacGruber. Alien.
Alien versus Predator. Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Yeah. The
X-Men, X-Men 2.
Country
X-Men
Bear
First
Jamboree.
Iron Man just started all over again.
I mean, I feel like that's what they're gonna do. Like, get Marvel 2. Just new company, release the same movies again. Marvel 2 remake.
Yeah,
them.
but the Marvel films are going to be adapted into 2D animation.
Yes, I think the Marvel films actually should be just moved to Broadway. I think that would be a better place for them, honestly.
Yeah, that's where they belong. Look at Spider-Man. It was a trendsetter.
Spider-Man the musical is ahead of its time.
You know what it needed? Disney backing it.
Disney backing it. Disney
I know we're doing a goof, but I honestly think that Disney could make good Marvel musicals.
Jess, this is not there's no goof. Jess, what are you saying there's a goof?
Nothing. I can't wait till they remake Hairspray.
Oh man, I'm very excited for them to remake Hairspray. Hairspray, I think mixed with Battlefield Earth would be a very good musical to do.
Before you even knew how to spray your hair, I was being taught to conquer galaxies.
All right, I think this is, I think this was over.
I don't think anyone made it this far.
If anyone is still listening to this, congratulations.
Yes,
really.
If you send us an email saying you made it to the end of this, you get the $25 gift card.
Now we have to add at least 3 minutes onto this so people don't just skip to the end and hear that and then they're like, here's a gift card.
Fuck it, I can just ignore the email.
That's true.
How are they gonna know that I didn't? Whether or not they were the first one.
That's true. There's your secret, guys. That's my secret, Cap. It's all fucking bullshit.
It's my secret, Cap. I always have diarrhea.
Oh no. Oh no. We're literally talking about diarrhea. We're about to have a guest on. Who's this guest that's coming on? This is literally minutes before we're recording the show.
We're having an actual Broadway actress.
Yeah, we're here talking about literally nothing
diarrhea.
And just having diarrhea at all times.
Always, almost constantly.
Jesus Christ. This is gonna be another drunken fiasco, just like Hello Again.
The episode no one will ever hear. That episode was so close to getting posted, guys. Like,
Hello.
it was down to the
again.
wire.
It was
Andrew
down to the
said
wire.
some transphobic shit.
That's not even true. Fuck you.
It's okay. They're still reeling from your opinion on Hedwig right now.
Oh, that's true. I definitely said some mean stuff in Hedwig for sure. But you know
No,
what?
we just mostly made a boring episode.
That's true. I'm sorry about Hedwig, guys. I didn't like
As
it
he
very
should
much. I didn't like it very much, and I think it's because I watched the movie. And really, we
Yeah,
should have
Brent
watched
said the
I
same
should have watched
thing.
the show.
Yeah, Brent said the same thing. I was talking to him about it, and he's like, Andrew probably would have preferred the show to the movie. Brent didn't like the movie, but he loves the show. So.
I feel like we need to redo it with I'll watch the show instead. Because I actually like a lot of the music in an okay amount. Like, so.
I think we should do that. I think we'll redo it. I'm going to use the album from the soundtrack for the film as the icon, not the Broadway show.
Yeah, I feel like the tone of the film is way more gritty than the tone of the show seems to be. The show doesn't seem to take itself nearly as seriously.
Not at all, and you're right. Either way, thank you guys for listening to Musicals with Cheese. We'll see you with a real episode Friday. I'm Jess.
And I'm Andrew.
And we'll see you next time. Musicals with Cheese. Bye.
Musicals with Cheese. Happy April Fool's Day.
Yay, in case you didn't figure it out by now.